mass destruction, what's it for? We say, President Trump, no more war! It's mass destruction, what's it for? We say, President Trump, no more war! It's the hostile government to take over, take over, take over. It's a hostile government to take over, take over, take over.
Other organizations, give it up for Jeff and Bahar.
My name is Bahar. I am from Tehran. It is quite something to see your city carpet bombed, to see places you love being turned into dust and rubble. Every day I wait for a call from my family to let me know that they're alive. And if they're late calling for any reason, I panic. This war started with a double tap strike on a girls' elementary school which killed 165 little girls. Over the past month, more than 2,000 Iranians have been killed. 600 schools, 282 hospitals, oil and gas facilities, power plants, historical and cultural heritage sites have been destroyed or damaged. The earth, the water, and the air have been poisoned. This is meant to destroy life, to destroy society, to destroy a civilization that is thousands of years old. All this while the genocide in Gaza continues with the weapons we provide and is expanding to South Lebanon. And for some reason, we are also torturing and strangling Cuba. We know that what we do to people in those places comes back here to hurt us. The executive power grab, the consolidation of media, and the criminalization of dissent are already here. This is the richest nation in the history of humankind. Why can't we feed, house, and provide healthcare to everyone in this country? Why are we spending $1 billion a day to destroy Iran? The money taxpayers have spent on this war in its first month could have provided free school lunches to nearly 30 million American school kids. The war on Iran is not just illegal, it is also immoral. It is the duty of every American to resist this war and make sure that Congress doesn't fund it. Call your representatives and tell them no funding for this war, no more bombs for Israel. Call them every week until it stops. Beyond that, get organized. Find an anti-war organization to join today. We are 1 month into this war. We need an anti-war movement. We need to be on the streets. We need to be disruptive, enough to make it painful for this regime to continue its course. Thank you, and I will pass it to Jeff.
Hello, my name is Jeff, and I'm a third-generation vet. All but one of my grandparents served in World War II in the Army and the Navy. My father was in the Air Force. I had a mostly positive view of the military as an institution because of them. That is until Iraq and Afghanistan. Iraq was an illegal war. Afghanistan and Iraq were fought for profit. This war on Iran is even worse, and it is a direct result of the Iraq War. By never repealing the AUMF from that time, Congress has allowed this war and every illegal action of every president since then to occur, all in the name of fighting terror. It's ironic at best that this administration says they're fighting terrorists when they bombed a school on day one and then denounced what they called stupid rules of engagement. The VA has been under attack by people who want to profit by privatizing it. This administration is eliminating tens of thousands of jobs from an already understaffed agency and has attacked their unions. At the same time, they're starting illegal wars, which will increase demand for VA services because they don't care about the military, they don't care about veterans, they don't care about you, and they sure as hell don't care about the Iranian people. They only care about their corporate profits and stock dividends. And the $200 billion in additional funding that they want will give them plenty of those. So call your elected representatives and tell them to oppose that funding. If you are in the military, you have a right to deny illegal orders. Start working on a conscientious objector package right now before it's too late. Contact the GI Rights Hotline, contact About Face or Veterans for Peace if you need to talk to somebody who has been there. The government has deported one of About Face's members. They're trying to deport another one of our members. They can use your support. Please spread the word about their cases. You can find information on our social media accounts at Vets About Face. Thank you.
For Bahar and Jeff. No crowns. No thrones. No king. No thrones. No crown. No kings. And one reason we really don't need no kings is because it probably was no queens either. But I have the privilege of introducing a queen right now. This sister, Giselle Bird, is the executive and artistic director of the Theater Offensive, a Boston-based organization presenting liberating art by, for, and about queer and trans people of color. Appointed in 2023, she is the first Black transgender woman to lead a regional theater company and brings over a decade of experience in talent management, production, and cultural partnership. An award-winning producer, she is a leading and bold vision for Boston and beyond, centering community, culture, and transformative storytelling. Give it up for Giselle Bird.
Good afternoon, Boston! Oh, wow. Y'all look good. Oh, thank you. Again, my name is Giselle Bird, and I am a proud Black trans woman hailing from Augusta, Georgia, who now calls Boston home. And not only am I the executive and artistic director at the Theater Offensive, I am also proud to serve as a state commissioner on the Massachusetts Commission on the Status of Women, the first trans woman of color to do so. Now I want y'all to bear with me for a moment. Put down your signs. Put down your signs. turn to your neighbor and say, "Neighbor, I will not forsake you in the fight for liberation." We are not free until all of us are free. Now keep your signs down. While you took the time to create them, I want us to focus on the real intention of today. We are at war. Not only across the world, but on this very ground. And though we are at war, that means we cannot be at war with each other. Our fight cannot be for select people to thrive and others to perish. If that is your cause, then you are no better than the oppressive storm spiraling from DC. And let me let you in on a little secret. They're coming for you too, if you think otherwise. And while it is important that we gather in our disdain and rage in times of severe adversity, it is equally important that in moments of divine enlightenment, we do not grow complacent simply because the broken system has a kind and familiar face. Y'all, our democracy has not ever existed to protect all who walk upon these indigenous lands. Even in sanctuary cities and states like this one that we reside in. And that performative act must end today. There is too much at stake. We must demand change and inclusion, for else it will crumble. It will. For the birthplace of the American Revolution, it is time that we start living up to that moniker. We can't continue to claim that we are the best until we prove that we are. All of us here today and those watching at home, we must be held accountable. Where my artists at in the space? To the artists, keep creating. Remember that we have always been the historian. There is a reason that in acts of war, our work is destroyed. To our BIPOC and immigrant communities, where y'all at? Your contributions have always made America great. Your blood, sweat, and tears have fertilized this land. And allies, it's time for you to fight now. We have grown weary of proving our humanity. It's your turn. To those who birth lineages, may the day come where your autonomy is no longer up for debate. And specifically to those of color, may you no longer perish as you give birth to our future. To the elected officials, local and state, do your damn job. Fight like hell, flip every table, and work in tandem with community when you make decisions, not just for a publicity shot. Protect us. There are no kings, and let it be clear, there are no queens either. It's beyond time that we, the people, all people, are reflected in our governance. And please recognize, thoughts and prayers won't answer for someone missing at the dinner table. But your actions at City Hall, the State House, or Washington, D.C. can pave the way for justice. Do not forsake the people who got you to this place. And most importantly, to our youth, especially our trans youth, keep claiming joy. They will work overtime to strip you of every fiber of your being, but please know they will not ever be able to possess the magic that you do. People in power have failed you. They are mediocre. Your brilliance overpowers them. You are the portal and you are the destination to a bright future on the other side of this moment. Remember who you are. We need you. The American dream has become a nightmare. In fact, I don't think it ever existed. But today we have the ability to wake up and take action. We cannot stop fighting until liberty and justice for all applies to everyone. It is our birthright. Our humanity is not up for debate. Thank you, Boston. Be safe. No kings, no queens. We the people demand justice. Thank you.
Yeah! Give it up for Giselle Bird! No ice! No fear! Immigrants are welcome here! No ice! No fear! Immigrants are welcome here! Coming to the stage next, I'd like to introduce Adriana, who is a speaker from the Luce Network. And with her is an interpreter, Esther Sarah. Adriana will be joined by the translator. She's a volunteer with Luce and would rather talk to you about them. Luce is a coalition of immigrant-led grassroots organizations helping fight for justice for all immigrants in Massachusetts. Luce is tabling. So go to the table and find out more about Luce. Welcome, Adriana and Esther.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Adriana y soy miembro de Luce Immigrant Justice Network.
Good afternoon, my name is Adriana and I'm a member of Luce Immigrant Justice Network.
Llegué a este país hace poco más de un año. Mi mamá y yo estuvimos separadas por 7 años.
I came here to this country a little over a year ago. My mother and I were separated for 7 years.
Tiempo en el que perdimos abrazos, consejos y gran parte de mi crecimiento.
During that time, we missed hugging, we missed giving advice, and a big chunk of my growing up.
Cuando cumplí 16 años, mi papá murió y fue muy duro no estar con mi madre en ese proceso de duelo.
When I was 16 years old, my father died, and it was very hard not to be there for my mother during that grieving process.
Siempre tuve el deseo de volver a abrazar a mi madre y también de superarme, y por eso decidí venir a este país.
I always wished to hug my mother, and to do better. And that's why I decided to come to this country.
Cuando llegué a Boston, entré en un momento crítico en este país. El siguiente día que entré, vi alertas de los primeros arrestos por ICE.
When I got to Boston, I came to this country in a critical moment. The next day after I came in, I saw the alerts about the first ICE arrest.
Vi a una comunidad con mucho miedo, que no salía a trabajar, no salía a dejar a sus hijos a las escuelas.
I saw a community with a lot of fear that wouldn't go out to work, wouldn't go out to drop their children at school.
Poco a poco empecé a conectarme con organizaciones locales y aprendí más de LUCE.
I slowly started getting connected with local organizations and I learned more about LUCE.
Por eso estoy como voluntaria apoyando a la comunidad más impactada. LUCE es una red de apoyo para nuestra comunidad inmigrante.
This is why I'm a volunteer supporting the most impacted community. LUCE is a support network for our immigrant communities.
Pero mi historia no es solamente mía.
But my story is not only mine.
Es la historia de muchas familias separadas a nivel nacional.
It's the story of many families separated at the national level.
Personas que dejaron todo atrás buscando una vida mejor.
People who left everything behind looking for a better life.
Comunidades que llegan con miedo, pero con una fuerza enorme de seguir luchando y de seguir adelante.
Communities who come here with fear, but also with enormous strength to keep moving forward and to get a better life.
Estamos viendo injusticias todos los días.
We're seeing injustices every day.
Nuestra gente está siendo arrestada, secuestrada y separada de sus familias.
Our people are being arrested, kidnapped, and separated from their families.
Empujada a vivir con miedo y hay personas que ni siquiera quieren salir de sus casas.
They're forced to live in fear. There's even people who don't dare to leave their homes.
La pregunta este día es, ¿vamos a seguir con miedo o vamos a luchar juntos y con valentía?
My question is, are we going to keep being afraid or are we going to fight together with courage?
Nosotros los trabajadores, vecinos y gente de Massachusetts tenemos el poder.
We, the workers, the neighbors, the people of Massachusetts, we have the power.
No el gobierno federal, no los billonarios, no las grandes corporaciones ni agentes con armas.
Not the federal government, not the billionaires, not the corporations, and not armed agents.
Y ese poder se demuestra cuando salimos a las calles.
And we show that power when we go out into the streets.
Cuando dejamos de tener miedo, retomamos nuestro poder y nos organizamos.
When we stop being afraid, we take back our power and we organize.
El histórico 1 de mayo, hace 20 años en 2006, los inmigrantes lideraron una huelga y marchas en contra de un ataque anti-inmigrante a nivel federal.
In a historic May Day 20 years ago, in 2006, immigrants led a strike and protest in an attack at the federal level.
Querían pasar una propuesta de ley que criminalizaba e incluso ayudar a una persona inmigrante.
They wanted to pass a bill that would criminalize even helping an undocumented person.
Pero la gente se levantaba por las calles, por todo el país.
But people rose up in the streets in the whole country.
Se llamaba Un Día Sin Inmigrantes y logramos que esa propuesta no fuera aprobada.
It was called A Day Without Immigrants, and we managed to succeed in making that law would not pass.
Esa es la misma táctica que usamos para combatir los ataques que estamos enfrentando actualmente.
This is the same tactic that we used to confront the attacks that we're facing right now.
Todo lo que hemos hecho hasta el momento es importante.
Everything we've done up until now is important.
Patrullar para alertar sobre la presencia de ICE y que tomen sus precauciones.
Patrol the streets to alert about the presence of ICE so that people can take precautions.
Apoyarnos con comida y dinero.
Support each other with food and money.
Apoyo legal y luchamos fuertemente para sacar a la gente de los centros de detención.
provide legal support, and fighting hard to get everybody out of the detention centers.
Para el 1 de mayo, estamos llevando esta lucha al próximo nivel.
For May 1st, we're taking this struggle to the next level.
Como trabajadores no vamos a ir al trabajo, no vamos a mandar a los niños a las escuelas y no vamos a comprar ese día.
As workers, we are not going to go to work, we are not going to send our children to school, and we are not going to shop that day.
Y por eso estoy hoy aquí.
And we need everyone's solidarity.
Necesitamos la solidaridad de todos. No se queden en casa.
Don't stay home.
Nos vemos aquí mismo el viernes 1 de mayo a las 4:30 p.m.
See you all here on Friday, May 1st at 4:30 p.m.
Tenemos voluntarios que ahora mismo están pasando por toda la gente con tarjetas de compromiso para que puedan unirse a esta lucha.
We have volunteers right now going around the crowd with pledge cards so you can join our struggle.
La lucha no termina hoy, sigue el 1 de mayo. Muchas gracias.
The fight doesn't end today. It continues May 1st. Thank you very much.
Enough of you say that word. Y'all ready to sing? Y'all ready to dance? Quick question, y'all heard of the cha-cha slide? You don't hear it, slide to the left. Slide to the right. Slide to the right. Slide to the right. Slide to the right. Boston Voices of Community and Labor, they didn't just come to entertain you. They came to have you engage. They came to have you get active. They came to have you sing. Give it up for BVOCAL.
Hello, Boston! You look beautiful! As you heard, we are here to sing with you. And this song, only 3 words, very important. Hostile government takeover, which we are living through right now. Sing with us, please. It's a hot over, it's takeover. Hostile government takeover. It's a takeover, it's a takeover. Hostile government takeover. It's a takeover, it's a takeover. Hostile government takeover. Sing with us! It's a takeover, it's a takeover. Hostile government takeover. Due process rights are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Due process rights are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. It's a takeover, it's a takeover. A hostile government takeover. It's a takeover, it's a takeover. Takeover. Voting rights are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Voting rights are under attack. I say, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. It's a takeover, it's a takeover. Hostile government takeover. It's a government takeover. Takeover. Democracy is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. I say democracy is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. It's a takeover, it's a takeover. Takeover. It's a takeover, it's a takeover. Takeover. Billions wasted, what's it for? We say President Trump, no more war! Billions wasted, what's it for? We say President Trump, no more war! take over, take over, take over. Mass destruction, what's it for? We say President Trump, no more war! It's mass destruction, what's it for? We say President Trump, no more war! It's hostile government, take over, take over, take over. It's a hostile government, take over, take over, take over. Death and suffering, what's it for? We say President Trump, no more war! Death and suffering, what's it for? We say President Trump, no more war! It's a hostile government, take over, take over, take over. It's a hostile government, take over, take over, take over.
So, we're here to hold our government accountable. We also need to be holding our corporations accountable. You just heard from Luce. We have a financial institution based here in New England, in Rhode Island, that is funding not only the building of private prisons, but financing the building of ICE detention centers. And ironically, the name of that financial institution is Citizens Bank. So we took a familiar tune. A lot of you are going to know it. We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it. This bank is funding hatred. We're not going to take it anymore. And we are thrilled to be joined by members of the Good Trouble Brass Band. Good Trouble, take it away, give us our note.
We're not gonna take it. This bank is funding hatred. We're not gonna take it anymore. Sing it with us! We're not gonna take it. This bank is funding hatred. We're not gonna take it anymore. This is a warning, citizens. Stop funding private prisons. We're not gonna take it anymore.
This is a warning, citizens.
This is a warning, citizens. Stop funding private prisons. We're not gonna bank here anymore. Sing it with us! We're not gonna take it. This bank is funding hatred. We're not gonna bank it anymore. We're not gonna take it. This bank is funding hatred. We're not gonna take it anymore. If you're among the lenders financing detention centers, we're not gonna bank here anymore. If you're among the lenders, if you're among the lenders financing detention centers, we're not gonna bank here anymore.
We're not gonna take it.
Sing with us! We're not gonna take it. Bank is funding hatred. We're not gonna take it anymore. We're not gonna take it. This bank is finding hatred. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Human rights are sacred.
We're not gonna take it.
Human rights are sacred.
We're not gonna take it anymore.
Sing it with us. Human rights.
We're not gonna take it. Human rights are sacred. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Our civil rights are sacred.
We're not gonna take it. Our civil rights are sacred. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Love will conquer hatred.
We're not gonna take it.
Love will conquer hatred.
We're not gonna take it anymore.
One last time, love will conquer.
We're not gonna take it. Our love will conquer hatred. And we're not gonna take it anymore. We're not gonna take it anymore.
No thrones, no crowns, no kings. I like that. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, no king. Coming next to the stage, a great representative of Massachusetts. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts always punches above its weight. There are 169 No Kings protests in Massachusetts, second only to California. And the person who is representing this tiny Commonwealth that punches well above its weight is our governor, the governor of Massachusetts. A fighter like any fighter, a competitor who's got the meanest crossover on the court. Give it up for your governor, Maura Healey.
All right. Wow, this is why I love Massachusetts. Wow. You know, basically the bottom line here is that for 250 years, we haven't had kings in Massachusetts, and we're not going backwards. You know, folks, a lot of stuff is happening, a lot of bad is happening. ICE in our communities, healthcare getting cut off, food taken away from people, a war that's costing $1 billion a day and putting our men and women at risk. God bless our troops overseas. A lot of bad is happening, right? And we're here today to say we are more than one man. We are more than one president. We are the United States of America. And we're also here to say that this is Massachusetts. And 251 years ago, we got the whole show started, remember? So we know something about democracy, we know something about freedom, we know something about chasing out tyrants and all-powerful armies and so-called kings. We know about that. And that's why we got a job to do right now. We got a job to do right now. Massachusetts, I appreciate it. We've been fighting back for the last year. When he took away health care from people, we said no. We found ways to fund health care and keep 270,000 households covered. When he took away vaccines, we said no. Now you can get a vaccine in Massachusetts and insurance will pay for it. When he took away food and cut off SNAP, we said not going to happen, and we found a way to feed people. And when he restrict abortion, we passed and I signed into law the strongest shield law in the country to protect patients and providers. And when he said ICE into our streets, into our neighborhoods, into our communities, we have come together to say no. No. When little kids are taken away from mothers and fathers taken away from their little kids, and U.S. citizens detained, stopped, shot, killed, we're saying no. And that's why in Massachusetts, I'm keeping ICE out of our schools, our daycare centers, our hospitals, our courthouses. And they're not going to be on state property. And don't even think about building a detention center here. Not going to happen in Massachusetts, ever. So Massachusetts, keep doing what we need to keep doing. But we need to do more. We need to do more because we know what is coming. We know that Donald Trump is going to weaponize every agency in the federal government to steal this election. We'll see not just ICE agents, but all federal agents on polling places. We'll see them going in trying to take our ballot boxes and voting machines. We'll see them trying to scare people away from going to the polls and exercising a constitutional right that people fought and died for in this country. So we've got a job to do. Here's my message to all of you. To all of you. The first thing is keep speaking out. Use your platform. You may have 100 followers, or you may not be like Ken Casey, who's performing before sellout crowds around the United States. But wherever you are, from wherever you are, you have a voice. You have a platform. Use it. For those who say, I don't like to mix politics with friendships and relationships, forget about it. Politics, tell them, is in their lives and in everything they do. It's why everything is costing more, from groceries to health care to gas at the pump. Politics is in them, so let's engage. Talk about what matters. And talk about it, use your platform. The next thing is, make sure you get people to understand talking about it is important, because what do authoritarians want to do? They want to silence us. They want to numb us out. They want to confuse us and distract us with wars and all sorts of things, right? Don't let that happen. Stay engaged. Keep reading. Keep talking. Keep speaking out and keep talking to one another. And keep building community. Look around you. This is community. This is the kind of community we need to keep building over the next several months. And finally, we got to get out and vote. The same way you found a friend and you came here today with a friend or two or three, and I hope you did, you got to get to the polls with a friend or two or three. We got to get young people voting who've given up on government and politicians. We got to get people who are scared to leave their houses right now out to vote. And we got to get the message out around this country that at the end of the day, and we know it to be true for Massachusetts, for 250 years, this country has been about fighting for the best in us, aspiring to the best in us. We fought for freedom and independence and liberty and equality and freedoms like freedom of speech, freedom like the right to protest peacefully, freedom to practice your religion. We need to remember the core American values of what makes us truly great as a country. There are more of us. There are more of us, doesn't matter what party you're in, who believe in the principles of America and what makes this country great. And now is time to fight for it. Fight for it, fight for it, fight for it. Fight for this democracy. Fight for our great country. I'll be out there with you.
Give it up for our governor, Maura Healey. Things are so much better when women lead. Stand up for women's rights. Stand up for reproductive autonomy. So I made a mistake because I was supposed to ask the governor a question, but she already answered the question. It was, What can we do to make sure we keep ICE detention centers out of Massachusetts? She just said we're not going to build them here, right? No ICE. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. 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 So coming next to the stage is a young man with a bright future ahead of him. Last year when he was a junior, playing volleyball, doing wonderful things in his school, he was illegally and unjustly detained by ICE. It tore his school community and his family apart. But thankfully he was released and he's back here. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He's gonna go to college. He's gonna study political science. Give it up for Marcelo Gomes da Silva.
I firstly want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to be here. To make a country a better place means to get up and stand for what's right, so I want to thank everybody to be here today. I'm here today not because I hate anyone, but because I love what this country is supposed to stand for. We were founded on a simple idea that no one person is above the law. No kings, no rulers, just people, equal under the Constitution. But that idea only survives if we protect it, because history shows us something. Power doesn't always announce itself as a king. Sometimes it shows up as fear, sometimes as silence, sometimes as people being too afraid to speak. And I'm not just talking about politics, I'm talking about real life. I felt that fear. I've seen what it does to people, what it does to families. Right now, there are students just like me who wake up not thinking about tests or college or their future, but wondering if they're safe, wondering if their family is safe. Because of how immigration enforcement is happening in this country, fear has entered classrooms. Students are staying home, families are stressed, kids are trying to learn while carrying anxiety. No one their age should have to carry. And I want you to think about that. What kind of future are we building if fear is stronger than education? I truly believe that you can't make America great again by scaring the next generation. You can't create leaders by forcing kids into hiding. That's not strength. That's not leadership. Real leadership creates stability. It creates trust. It allows people to live, to learn, to grow without constantly looking over their shoulder. Because freedom isn't just words on paper. It's whether people actually feel safe enough to live their lives. And freedom means we question power. We don't worship it. That is why we are here. That's why we speak. Because in this country, there are no kings, not then, not now, not ever. I hope you guys go with this with me. Watch this. I wrote this one really good. We answer to the people, not to fear. We stand for justice, not for power. And under God, there are no kings. No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings. Thank you, everyone.
For Marcelo. The future is bright, Massachusetts. The future is bright. So again, you all gave us questions that you wanted answered from your elected officials. The next person that I'm calling up is being asked the question. We're already voting, marching, donating, and talking to everyone we know about our concerns. What else can we do to turn this nightmare around? Well, the next speaker knows something about turning nightmares around. Because as consumers, this capitalist corporate system has been a nightmare to many of us. But she helped create a protection bureau to look out for consumers, to make sure that we're not exploited. Representing the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, give it up for Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Here, and I've been given a question, how do we win? But I want to turn that around and start in a different place. And that place is how do we lose? Yeah, because Trump and the Republicans want you to give up. They want to be able to make corrupt deals, make money hand over fist, shoot people in the streets with no accountability, and destroy our democracy. Donald Trump and the Republicans want you to think that what you're doing doesn't matter. They want you to feel powerless. They want you to give up. Well, I'm here with all of you to send a message to Donald Trump here in Massachusetts, the birthplace of the American Revolution. We don't give up, we fight back. Now look, I want to stop Donald Trump in his tracks right this minute. But we save our democracy through our elections. That is where the real power lies. Yes, but you gotta make it through an election, so you got the numbers. Look, you've made the calls, you've protested, and here's the deal. You've already made real change. You've gotten the word out, and for a year now, the people across this country who have run elections based on supporting our democracy and reining in Donald Trump have won time after time after time. And your hard work, your rallies, your phone calls, your knocking on doors has done a second thing. It's brought new fighters into the race. It's brought a new generation of people who are running for office right now so that they can go to Washington and fight Donald Trump and the Republicans. These are people in Minnesota and people in Illinois, people in Iowa, people in Michigan, oh, and nearby in Maine. We're going to get Grand Platform. People that you inspired and people who are going to make a difference. Because here's the thing to remember. We are winning at the ballot box, and we're just getting started. So I'm here with you because you are fighters and you have the power. So let me ask you, Donald Trump and his private ICE police are strutting around the streets of our cities, gassing little babies, throwing people to the ground, disappearing people, shooting people in the back with no accountability. Will you fight back? our brave service members overseas to die in another endless war. And he's spending $1 billion a day to drop bombs halfway around the world. Will you fight back? Donald Trump, the guy who promised on day one that he would lower costs, but instead has decreed tariffs, wars, and a billionaire tax that has increased the price of your groceries, of your health care, of your gasoline, of your fuel oil, of your homes. He is driving up costs all across America. Will you fight back? And here comes the big one. Donald Trump thinks he's a king. Will you fight back? Will you fight back? Will you fight back? Donald Trump thinks he can steal our democracy. We are here, right here in Massachusetts, to prove Donald Trump is wrong. The people have the power, not Donald Trump. We're going to do this together. Stay in the fight.
When democracy is under attack, what do? Come on, y'all. When democracy is under attack, what do? When racial justice is under attack, what do? When women's rights are under attack, what do? When trans rights are under attack, what do? When voting rights are under attack, what do? When democracy is under attack, what do? So the next person I'm bringing to the stage is someone who's always stood up, who's always fought back, fought for the little guy, the little guy, the little person, the little people, the working people. I recently had a trip to Washington, D.C., and I had a chance to go meet with him and talk with him. And one of the things that we talked about was the threat of voting rights. And we talked about how people in our households would not be able to vote if this terrible Save America Act gets passed. He recognized that. He understood that. He empathized with that. And so the question to him is, how will you safeguard free and fair elections in November? Brothers and sisters, community members, give it up for our Senator Ed Markey!
Thank you, Massachusetts revolutionaries, for coming out today. Because across our nation, we are witnessing a dangerous attempt to concentrate power in the hands of one man, Donald Trump, to silence dissent, weaken our institutions, and erode the very foundation of our democracy. They dress it up in slogans. They disguise it in legislation, but we know the truth. And just this week, Elizabeth Warren and I fought back against the so-called SAVE Act, a bill to block millions of eligible Americans from exercising their right to vote. And let's be clear about who Trump is targeting. If you are a black or brown voter, if you are a voter with a disability, if you are an LGBTQ voter, if you're a trans voter, if you are a young person or someone who has changed their name, including married women and members of the trans community, they are trying to make it harder, if not impossible, for you to cast your ballot. This is not about election integrity. It is about voter suppression, plain and simple, because they are frightened. They are afraid because the people are rising across our country. The SAVE Act should really be called the Save Their Asses Act, because the people are up and they're ready to fight, because Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans know they cannot win an election in 2026 if every eligible voter, every eligible American gets to vote. So instead of earning support, they are trying to rig the rules, because when more people vote, MAGA loses. This is not about protecting democracy. It is about deciding who deserves to participate in our democracy. And Donald Trump is not hiding his intentions. He has called for nationalizing the voting. He has said he would invoke the Insurrection Act, deploying military into our communities, taking control of the polling places and counting the votes himself. Donald Trump has shown us who he is, and as Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And Donald Trump is a walking, talking constitutional crisis every minute that he is inside of the Oval Office. That's why it is the Save Their Asses Act, because the people are angry and they're coming for him. And what we are seeing now is merely Trump and MAGA's latest attempt to rig the system, because they are scared. They're scared of the movement we see building all across our country. People speaking out, organizing, demanding better. They're seeing the elections in state after state. They are scared of the millions of people who are horrified by just how far this administration has gone to cling to power, targeting immigrants, targeting the trans community, singling out those who are already too often pushed to the margins. They're scared because at the same time, while Trump is imposing illegal tariffs, pursuing an unconstitutional, illegal war in Iran, families are struggling here at home. The cost of living is up. The cost of gasoline is up. The cost of natural gas is up. The cost of home heating oil is up. Housing is more expensive. Rent is up. Utility bills are up. Groceries are up. Gas prices are soaring, and instead of lowering costs or helping working people get ahead, they are doubling down on policies that make life harder. They are cutting Medicare, cutting Medicaid. They're slashing education. They have turned the EPA into every polluter's ally. And they are tearing apart our immigration system. And when they can't defend those choices, they try to distract us, to divide us one against the other. They are flooding our streets, our communities with agents from ICE, agents who have torn families apart, agents who have murdered innocent people in our streets, agents whose actions have left communities grieving and afraid and targeted. And just this week, as agents were deployed into our airports, one of Donald Trump's closest allies, Stephen Bannon, said the quiet part out loud, calling it a test run for sending agents to polling places on Election Day. Not to protect voters, but to intimidate voters. Not to strengthen democracy, but to scare people away from participating in democracy. And that is exactly why I was the first senator to call for abolishing of ICE. We cannot have this reckless gang of vigilantes roaming the streets of our country, because this moment demands more than outrage. It demands action. And here is what Trump and his cronies fear most. They fear the power of the people when we come together, like each and every one of you gathered today. And I promise you that I will continue to fight every day on the United States Senate floor, making the enemies you would make, fighting the fights you would fight, to protect the values of those who are most vulnerable. Because the real power has always been with you. Because the story of America has never been about those who seek to rule. It has always been about those who rise up to be heard. And we cannot wait for spineless elected representatives to show any courage. They have all had a courage bypass operation in the Republican Party. So that is where we are. The American Revolution started right here on Boston Common. They rose up and they fought the most powerful military machine in the world. They fought and they won. The abolitionist movement, it started right here on Boston Common. They were knocked down, they were not knocked out, they got up, they fought, and they won. The suffragette movement, it was started right here on Boston Common. They were knocked down, they were not knocked out, they got up, they fought, and they won. The civil rights movement, the Freedom Riders, they started right here on Boston Common. They were knocked down, they were knocked out, they got up, they fought, and they won. The same-sex marriage movement started right here, Boston Common. They were knocked down, they were not knocked out, they got up, they fought, and they won. The universal health care movement, the anti-Vietnam War movement, all right here, Boston Common. You are the revolutionaries. You are the hope that our country needs in order to be successful. Because you don't wait for change. We do not accept kings. We do not accept tyrants. We do not accept anyone who believes that they are above the law. And today, we once again say to the rest of the nation and to Donald Trump, we are ready to fight. Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to stand up? Are you ready to make sure that at the elections this year that we get rid of the Republicans in the House and Senate to restore true democracy in our country? Thank you, Boston. Thank you.
Give it up for Ed Markey. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. So somebody was telling me, like, well, what's the point of all these rallies and protests? People just come out here and stand around. Look at here. This thing is bigger than the first one. This is bigger than the second one. Some people, this is their first protest. This says to the world that protest matters. This says to the world that things are not okay. But this also says to the world we will resist. We will fight back. We will get active. Make sure you go to the action tables. Make sure you find out about the organizations you can sign up with. Make sure you learn about the policy initiatives you can push. Our voting rights are under attack. But here in Massachusetts, we're going to fight for same-day voter registration. Let's make it happen. Coming up, we got a treat. Jimmy Tingle. You like that, Jimmy Tingle? Jimmy Tingle is a comedian, the founder of Humor for Humanity, and a former candidate for Lieutenant Governor of Massachusetts. His newest film, Jimmy Tingle, The Radical Middle, Why Would a Comedian Run for Office, is streaming for free on his website at jimmytingle.com. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, peoples and friends, welcome Jimmy Tingle.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today, brothers and sisters. How about it for our MC tonight? Doing a great job. So, our defense budget is now $1 trillion. How about housing as a form of national defense? Do you know how many houses we can build with $1 trillion? That's like 3 houses in Newton. 2 condos in Cambridge. Or a parking space on Beacon Hill. How about health care as a form of national defense? Because of Obamacare, Americans are living longer and healthier lives than ever before. They say 60 years old is the new 40. I love that. 80 is the new 60. I love that. 100 is the new 80. I love that. And the afterlife is the new assisted living. So we have that to look forward to, brothers and sisters. The Republicans want to cut Obamacare. You know what they want to replace it with? Health care savings accounts. So we save up for a medical emergency. Jimmy, you going to the Cape next summer on vacation? Geez, I'd love to go. I'm saving up for a stroke. How about immigration reform as a form of national defense, brothers and sisters? 40% of all agricultural workers in this country are undocumented. They would probably make really great citizens considering the risk they take to come to this country. Many of these people are essential workers, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these people actually sneak into the country to work. That's incredible. That's like somebody sneaking into your house to clean it. How about climate change, ladies and gentlemen, as a form of national defense? This winter we had 5 feet of snow here in Massachusetts. The blizzard of 2015, we had 9 feet of snow. Climate change is separating whole families right here in Massachusetts. When we had 9 feet of snow, everybody had to shovel out their own parking space. I come home from work, I saw a woman pulling in to my parking space. I said, "Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, that's my space." Excuse me, with all due respect, it took me 3 hours to shovel that out. That's my space. Excuse me? I don't care if we're married. That is my space. That is my space. You get your own space. We'll discuss this at dinner. Thank you so much for being here today, because with your help, ladies and gentlemen, with your help, brothers and sisters, we are going to take back the Congress. We are going to take back the Senate. And we are going to take back the White House. And we are going to take back the Supreme Court and overturn Citizens United. The Supreme Court is not helping us, ladies and gentlemen, with affordability. The Supreme Court ruled that money is actually a form of free speech. Well, if money is a form of free speech, how much speech does the middle class have? How much speech do the poor have? How much speech do students with tens of thousands of dollars in student loans have? If money's a form of free speech, then lack of money has got to be considered lack of speech. So I am suggesting on April 15th, when the federal government wants our tax dollars, I suggest we all write letters to Washington basically saying, listen, we'd love to pay you, but to be perfectly honest, we're speechless. But with your help, we're not speechless. And you know what's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen? For the last 50 years, the conservative movement in this country, they've taken God, they've taken the flag, and today, brothers and sisters, we're here to take it back. Please welcome. Where the hell did my card go? Do you see what what the climate is doing to us. Blowing my cards right off the podium. Please welcome from the Greater Boston Label Council, the one, the only Darlene Lombos. And from the American Federation of Teachers, the one and only Jessica Tang. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters.
Let's give it up for Jimmy Tingle one more time. So fun. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Darlene Lombos, and I'm the president of the Greater Boston Labor Council and a proud member of Painters DC 35, Local 939. DC 35. We represent about 100,000 union members and their families across the region. I really just can't tell you how proud we are to stand in solidarity with all of you today. We in the labor movement know that solidarity is not just a word you say. It is something you do. If you're a nurse or a painter or a janitor and you walk a picket line for the striking hotel workers on your lunch break, that's solidarity. If you are living in Roxbury or Mattapan or Dorchester and you are testifying at hearings for rent control or more youth jobs or climate justice, that's solidarity. Yeah, it is. If you are part of LUCE, working the hotline or getting trained up block by block to defend our neighborhoods from ICE, that's solidarity. Just like in the 1950s when South Africans fought to end apartheid, or in the 1980s when Filipinos fought against the Marcos dictatorship, or right here in the United States when Black people and their allies led the takedown of the racial authoritarianism of the Jim Crow segregation system. It was the solidarity with all parts of society. Big business, small business, spiritual leaders from all different faiths, progressives, libertarians, youth, women, men, old peoples, young peoples. Everyone had to come together back then. And that's what it's going to take today to fight against this authoritarian regime. Just a couple months ago, Minnesotans led the charge for truth, resistance, freedom, and democracy, reminding us that we are absolutely capable of being the unstoppable transformational force we need to be in order to change the course of history. With midterms coming up and all the threats to seize ballot boxes and deploy ICE to intimidate voters, and even with the Supreme Court on the verge of ruling to potentially strip Article 2 of the Voting Rights Act that would eliminate dozens of Black-held congressional seats across the South. Silence is not an option, y'all. Despair is not an option. We must choose solidarity as a continuing practice of love and defiance. Today we say in one united voice, no to all would-be kings, whether tech billionaires or war profiteers. Today we say in one united voice, solidarity forever. Union! Power! Union! Power! When I say justice, you say now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! When I say fight, you say win! Fight! Win! Fight! Win! Fight! Win! Let's do it, y'all!
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Tang, and I am a Boston Public School social studies teacher, proudly serving as the president of the American Federation of Teachers of Massachusetts, representing over 25,000 workers in our public schools, our public libraries, universities, and health facilities. So this morning, before marching here, Darlene and I actually joined over 300 union members across different sectors and trades, along with faith-based organizers, for a protest out of Citizens Bank. Why? Because Citizens Bank is financing two of the largest for-profit prison companies running ICE detention centers, Core Civic and the Geo Group. While JP Morgan, Barclays, Wells Fargo, and other major banks have ended their relationship with the private prison industry since 2019, Providence-based Citizens Bank has not. So we are telling them, follow your own motto, do the right thing, and stop funding ICE terror. And what we know in the labor movement is that through solidarity, workers have power, and all of us have economic leverage. As Alice Walker said, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. So we're asking all of you to remember, we do have power. Boycotts work and so does public pressure. So join the de-ICE Citizens Bank campaign and demand that they stop funding the prisons where our students have been held in deplorable conditions, where our family community members have been separated, and where now at least 46 people have died in ICE custody since last year. One of them was our neighbor, Emmanuel Damas. His service was this morning at our Union Hall. A Haitian resident of Dorchester who was seeking asylum, he died in ICE custody from an untreated tooth infection while detained. Let that sink in. A toothache should not result in death. That is the cruelty of ICE terror. In his memory, we are saying no more. Using economic leverage is the way we can not just stop the harm, but also reclaim our democracy. Because when Trump and his cronies try to steal the election this fall by suppressing the vote or refusing to seat duly elected members of Congress, we will need to turn out like this, not just for one day, but for each day it takes to restore our democracy. We have to own our power to shut things down. And Minnesota showed us how to do it. I was there on January 23rd, joining my fellow educators and union siblings to bear witness on their day of no work, no school, no shopping. Over 50,000 people braved negative 20-degree weather to march, and over 100 businesses closed down, many in solidarity. On May Day, International Workers' Day, May 1st of this year, cities across the United States are joining the Twin Cities for another day of action. It is the 20th anniversary of the Day Without Immigrants, showing that when immigrants don't go to work, our businesses and society can't function. It's a reminder that immigrants are a critical part of our labor movement and the United States. So students are calling for no school walking out of campuses across the nation. They're standing up for public education and against the attacks on higher ed. We're calling for everyone to not shop that day, because an economic blackout is how we tell the corporations and billionaires that we will not give up our power and continue to let profits be prioritized over everyday working people or our democracy. So please join us May 1st. Learn more at maydaystrong.org. There'll be actions throughout the day, and we will gather here at the bandstand in the evening to celebrate what actually makes America great: our workers, our immigrants, our families, and our democracy in action. We have just 7 months to change the trajectory of authoritarianism and U-turn away from fascism. The urgency is now, and while it is likely that we will see darker days ahead, we must remember that we have each other. We do have power, and we must have the courage to exercise it. Minnesotans held the line for us. From now until November, it's critical for us to hold the line for them too. As Governor Walz said, this will end when enough Americans say this will end. And when things inevitably get dark again, remember the songs of Minnesota and the words of Heidi Wilson. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. You are the dawn, you are the light, keep shining bright, everyone. Thank you.
No thrones, no crowns, no kings, no thrones, no crown, no kings. When labor rights are under attack, what do? When educators are under attack, what do? When the environment is under attack, what do? Coming next to the stage is Hassan Farouqi, who is the executive director of the Boston Climate Action Network, a community-based organization that organizes Boston families for city and state level climate justice. Let's give it up for Hassan.
Thank you, Rasan, and thank you all for being here today. We are all here for the same reason. We love our country, don't we, folks? But we are here for another reason, too. Today, we have a president in Washington making it easier for corporations to pollute our air and pollute our water. A president rolling back clean energy investments. We're here because of the kids struggling to breathe under asthma attacks from dirtier air. We're here because of the auntie who's struggling to pay her Eversource bills that rise year after year. And we're here for the father who loses his job on an offshore wind construction project. All because of this president. Donald Trump does all of this for the same reason he does anything. He wants to squeeze yet another dollar out of the pockets of the working class and put them into the bank accounts of the billionaire class. This is the same billionaire class that doesn't just drive up bills, but that drives down wages and busts our unions. The same billionaire class that pollutes our air is the same billionaire class that buys up homes to jack up rent and now is dragging us into yet another endless, pointless war in Iran. These billionaires even now want to be kings who run this country. But I've got news for them. We, the people of this country, are the ones who truly make this country run. They want to be kings. They don't know who they're messing with. Because here in Boston, we don't take kindly to kings. President Trump may know this if he read more of the history books his administration now seeks to ban. We deserve to have a climate that is livable. We deserve to have energy we can afford. We shouldn't have to pay more for energy. We should make polluters pay for the damage they've done. We shouldn't have to wait for yet another delayed train. We should invest in public transportation. The time for our leaders to be bold is now. The time for a Green New Deal is now. And we know this is all possible because we have done it here in Boston. Thanks to regular people organizing together, joining groups like 350 and Sierra Club and Mothers Out Front and Clean Water Action, ACE and Green Roots, and yes, the Boston Climate Action Network. We have made Boston the greenest city in the world. And we've done it by lowering energy bills and raising wages and creating more jobs. And we've done it by holding corporations accountable for the damage they're doing. All of this happened because of the reason anything happens. One person stood up, and then 2 more people stood up behind them, and then 10 more people stood up behind them, and then 150,000 people stood up behind them right here on the Boston Common to make clear with one voice, there are no kings in America and no kings in Boston. Thank you so much, everybody.
Let's give it up for Hassan. So within the last 5 years, 25 million people have lost Medicaid. In the last 5 years, there have been approximately 3,000 mass shootings. There have been roughly 348 cases of corporate fraud investigated. There's been 181 school shootings. There's been 150 people approximately named in the Epstein files. But guess how many people have been prosecuted for voting illegally as a non-citizen? 2 people. And they're trying to pass legislation that would strip everyone's voting rights. That's a solution in search of a problem that doesn't exist. But we're here today to stand against that. We're here to stand against authoritarianism. We're here to stand against tyranny. No thrones, no crowns, no kings, no kings, no kings. Sign check. No kings. Sign check. Some of you will die, a risk I'm willing to take. Drain the swamp. No king, no tyranny. I don't care Hormuz, military, voting rights, healthcare, human rights. Lie, 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 with a picture of Donald Trump in the middle. We love immigrants, not fascists. Proudly, Antifa. So now, last time we were here, the executive director of Antifa was gonna come, but they couldn't make it. So I heard that the executive director and the vice president of the board of Antifa are scheduled to come, but they couldn't make it because of the backlog at TSA at the airport. So we'll have to wait for another time for them to show up. Maybe check your local Antifa registry and go to your local Antifa meeting. You got that? There it is. We'll trade racists for immigrants. No kings, ice out. I saw a sign somewhere else when I was walking through the crowd that said, melt ice, not ice caps. And Frank, where there's hope, there's life. If America hasn't broken your hearts, you don't love her enough. This is the resistance, y'all. This resistance is built on love. It's not built on hate for who's in the White House. It's built on love for your neighbors, love for the ideals, love for the principles, love for America, love for humanity. Give it up for love. Give it up for resistance. Give it up for this moment. And give it up for our next day. Not yet. Maybe let the women pick. So there's a group that's coming up. But there's some dope people after the group. So I got some friends, some folks I used to work with. I used to work at the ACLU. Y'all like the ACLU? Y'all like the ACLU? Well, stick around to hear from their executive director. We also got some great people that are representing us in Congress. We've heard from our senators. I got a good friend who used to work in the city of Boston as a city councilor, and then she made her way up to Congress. Y'all know Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley? Okay, well, y'all gotta stick around and make sure you hear from Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. Sign check. Hate will not make us great. Courage is contagious. My vote is my voice and the voice of all who struggled so that I may have my voice. I have a dream. It's a picture of Donald Trump in handcuffs being escorted out. No new wars. How many veterans are in the crowd? Give it up for our veterans. Now, I heard that like 64% of veterans voted for this administration. I'm assuming that's none of y'all who are here in this crowd. But it's people who made that ultimate sacrifice, people who put their lives on the line for principles and belief in the rule of law. And that is not what we're seeing here. There's a constitutional document. It is not perfect, but it is what we have, and it is what guides us. A king does not respect a constitutional document. A king is a tyrant. And so when the king determines to send our soldiers, our people off to war, that is in violation of those founding documents. That is not what we voted for. That is not what our ancestors sacrificed, fought, bled, and died for. That is why we are out here. That is why we are resisting. That is why we are a part of this movement. A movement about love, not hate. A movement about resistance. A movement about lifting up and building up one another. I see a couple other signs. Greatest show, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. A felon sold out America. Ooh, I like this one right here. Ship them out of Boston. But you know what? I got a group of folks who are coming up who are shipping up to Boston. Let's get hyped for the Dropkick Murphys!
What's up, Boston? All right. Thanks for being here. We just got told backstage that they were estimating today's crowd at 200,000. It was 100,000 last time. Hell yeah! I don't know if it's true. That's just what they told me. Anyway, you know what? You know what the Dropkick Murphys would like to bring to this event and to all these protests? A little less kumbaya and a little more, we're sick of this bullshit! Who's sick of this bullshit? All right. You guys all good? We good? All right. Well, ironically, the first song we're gonna play, we debuted at the first No Kings protest back in April, and it wasn't even out yet. It was the first time we played it live, I believe, and now it's been out for a little while, and why don't we start with that one? It's called Who'll Stand With Us? Are you with us? In every country we faced the wrath and felt the pain of the tyrant's sword of the henchman's boot for another rich man's gain. In the endless quest for wealth and power, they stomp us down with great disdain beneath the false god's banner in the name of all that's vain. Through crime and crusade, our labor it's been stolen. We've been robbed of our freedom. We've been held down and beholden by the the bosses and the bankers who never gave their share of any blood, of any sweat, of any tears. Who'll stand with us? Don't tell us everything is fine. Who'll stand with us? Because this treatment is a crime. The working people fuel the engine. While you yank the chain, we fight the wars and build the buildings for someone else's gain. So tell me who will stand with us? And as time rolls on, not a single thing has changed, and the wealth gaps only grow as we all point the blame. We're at the throats of one another, though we share a different fate. And the golden few laugh on and on as we all take the bait. Through crime and crusade, our labor it's been stolen. We've been robbed of our freedom. We've been held down and beholden to the bosses and the bankers who never gave their share of any blood, of any sweat, of any tears. Who'll stand with us? Don't tell us everything is fine. Who'll stand with us? Because this treatment is a crime. The working people fuel the engine. While you yank the chain, we fight the wars and build the buildings for someone else's gain. So tell me who will stand with us? Through crime and crusade, our labor has been stolen. We've been robbed of our freedom. We've been held down and beholden. Who'll stand with us? Don't tell us everything is fine. Who'll stand with us? Because this treatment is a crime. The working people fuel the engine. While you yank the chain, we fight the wars and build the buildings for someone else's gain. So tell me who will stand with us? Tell me who will stand with us? Hell yeah! You make us proud to be from here, that's for damn sure. Well, there's been a lot of talk, so we're gonna try to bring more rock and less talk. Although, you know, every time you see us at one of these, they never let us bring the drums. It takes too long to get all the... Someday we'll play one of these loud and electric, but most of this works acoustic, or it has to anyway. So we just had the privilege of playing at a protest / memorial out in Minneapolis, right on the site of the Alex Preddy Memorial Site, and we were looking from the stage at the spot where he was executed, and we all witnessed it. And so we wanted to do this song, and we'll debut it here in Boston for the first time. It's a brand new song, and it's not out yet, but it's called "Don't Call Us a Fucking Terrorist." I work my job, I pay my taxes, help the poor, I support my wife and family, welcome heroes home for more. And then at night, when I lay my head to rest, I wonder how this land I love calls me a terrorist. Yeah, I wonder how this land I love calls me a terrorist. Get those signs up there! I love my my God and go to church. Yeah, I get on my knees and pray. Love my neighbor, help them out when hard times come their way. And then at night I sit alone and I think and try my best to understand how this land I love calls me a terrorist. To understand how this land I love calls me a terrorist. I was sure that things are different. Could it be that I've gone mad? All the things I was taught were true and right are suddenly called bad. So I'll just keep loving my country, though I still don't understand how I went to bed a patriot and woke up a wanted man. Patriot and woke up a wanted man. I work my job, I pay my taxes, help the poor, I support my wife and family, welcome heroes home from war. And then at night, when I lay my head to rest, I wonder how this land I love calls me a terrorist. Yeah, I wonder how this land I love calls me a terrorist. Yeah, I wonder how this land I love calls me a terrorist. Yeah, I wonder how this land I love calls me a terrorist.
He says he loves that song. We got a new fan out there. Hey. Well, this next song, in full disclosure, was written long before Donald Trump came down the escalator, but man, oh man, does it fit him to a T. So we've changed this one to be specifically about him. And we're gonna need your help. Can you all hear us in the back? Can you help us in the back? Okay. The chorus to this one and the name of this one is called First Class Loser! Have you ever had family or a friend that drove you crazy? A foe or a neighbor who's obnoxious, rude or lazy? The type of guy you cross 6 lanes of traffic to avoid. He's always got his hand out. He should be unemployed. You can't ditch him, you can't lose him. There's no place you can hide. He's a bully, he's a jerk, he's everything that we despise. But you can't just tune him out because he's too loud to ignore. When he shows up at your house, you kill the lights and hit the floor. Everybody! Cause he's a first class loser. He's a first class loser. He's a first class loser, which nobody can deny. He's a first class loser. He's not our type of guy. His personality's impervious to reason or suggestion. He can take a hint, and he overstays his welcome. He's nobody's friend, yeah, he's hated by all races. He only cares about himself. He parks in handicapped spaces. Come on! Cause he's a first class loser. all got some loser in us, but it ain't a full-time job. I may be a little difficult, but I'm not a total knob. I wanna hit him, fight him, bite him, punch him, watch him as he falls. I wanna kick him, slap him, smash him, knife him, smash him in the balls. He's a first class. He's a first class. He's a first class loser, which nobody can deny. He's a first class loser. He makes me wanna cry. He's a first class loser, which nobody can deny. He's a first class loser. We wouldn't miss him if he. Hey, I didn't say it. You said it. Can we get a hell yeah? Can we get a hell yeah? Who's sick of this shit? Hell yeah. I'd like to introduce you to the 6th Murphy right now. All right. You know, I see a lot of great signs out there right in front of me. Pedos must pay. Let's not forget the Epstein files! God damn it. So much to talk about. I could go on a tirade that lasts an hour. So we'll just keep playing music. This one's called Bury the Bones. Come on, signs up! The fucking signs are so good! It's time to be true to our cause. It's time to do what's right and rip the power back from their claws. What happens to the weak and the weary? Who'll stand with the marginalized? The strong must help those in need when the crooks just bully and lie. Hey, look on the bright side. You can't get blood from a stone, and we're on the right side of the ground where they bury the bone. The ground where they bury the bone. You took us all to the cleaners, gave your cronies the keys to the vault. No remorse and no regret, because nothing is ever your fault. You spread your hate to divide us, cause you want us scared and alone. But you'll soon fall in disgrace when they're dragged down on high Brigade Road. Hey, look on the bright side. You can't get blood from a stone, and we're on the right side of the ground where they bury the bone. The ground where they bury the bone. Who's sick of this shit? survive. And look on the bright side, you can't get blood from a stone. And we're on the right side of the ground where they bury the We got 2 more songs, 1 more protest song, and then 1 celebration song. How about that? All right, so the irony of a great city like Boston, built on the backs of so many fine immigrants that were fortunate enough to come to this country, build better lives, and ascend into the middle class. And here we are, people in just a generation or 2 who want to forget how their family benefited from this country's welcoming hand and want to shut the door right behind them. And I say to that, that's fucking bullshit! Sorry, kids, earmuffs. Anyway, we over the years, you know, we've had a lot of songs that talked about the immigrant experience, of particularly the Irish coming to America and to Boston, and we've always stayed away from any of the traditional songs that dealt with, you know, the politics of Ireland and the British occupation of Northern Ireland. But this particular song fits like a glove to what's happening here in America, so we changed it a little bit, and it's a song called "The Men Behind the Wire." Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man must stand behind the men behind the wire. The streets of Minnesota in the cold and dark of early morn, ISIS goons, they come a-running, wrecking love with little scorn. Hear the screams of crying children, dragging families from their bed. Watch the cries of helpless mothers as the blood falls from their head. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man must stand behind the women behind the wire. Not for them a judge and jury, or indeed a crime at all. Being American means you're guilty, so we're guilty one and all. Round the world the truth will echo, the henchmen are here again. America's name again is sullied in the eyes of honest men. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man must stand behind the kids behind the wire. Proudly march behind our banner, firmly stand behind our cause. We will all be free to help restore this nation's rules and laws. On the people stand together, loud and firmly on our way. Never fear and never falter, till they all come home to stay. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man must stand behind the man behind the wire. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man must stand behind the men, the women, the children behind the wire. Can we quickly put our hands together and thank all the fine people that put No Kings together, Indivisible, Mass 5150, all the volunteers. God bless your hearts. There's been a lot of work that's gone into this. Sing along with us on this last word. And get those signs in the air. Come on. Sick of this shit! Boston. Let's ship them out of Boston. You with us? Let's ship them out of Boston. Let's ship them out of Boston. Let's ship them out of Boston. Let's ship them all to find their wooden leg. Can I get that? I'm a sailor pig and I lost my leg. Coming up the top sails, I lost my leg. Are you ready? Let's go! Let's ship them out of Boston. Let's ship them out of Boston. Let's ship them out of Boston. Let's ship them off to find their wooden leg. Maybe to find a fucking spine. Let's go! Thank you, everybody!
Let's give it up for the Dropkick Murphys. No thrones, no crowns, no kings, no thrones, no crowns, no kings. A quick announcement, we're about to wrap this up, but I got two badass women that are about to close this thing down. Quick announcement. Someone lost their work authorization card. Your initials are DM. Go to the Parkman Bandstand. Work authorization card is missing. If your initials are DM, go to the Parkman Bandstand. The next person who's coming up was asked the question, how are you trying to win over lawmakers who are going along with the Trump agenda? And I know this sister has the answer because she's a fighter. She's a fighter for our people. Give it up for Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley.
That's right. No kings. Just one ball queen. All right, movement family. I returned from Washington earlier today after being in the Capitol until midnight. And for what? And for what? For Republicans in the House to decide that our money is better spent on rogue masked agents kidnapping our neighbors than it is on putting food on our tables. This harm is intentional, it is targeted, it is deliberate. Right now, the occupant of the White House and his co-conspirators, they want us to be overwhelmed. They want us to go quietly into the night. They are working to dismantle every corner of our government. They are coming after our reproductive freedoms. They are attacking our healthcare system, our right to quality education, while rolling back climate actions. What they want, y'all, is a people that are indifferent to the suffering of its neighbors. This playbook is as old as sin, pitting hardworking people against one another. Now look, this moment may feel unprecedented. You may be here today because you believe that this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to stand up. But this is actually a fight that we have waged and weathered against for generations. And this is a fight that we will and we must continue. Now listen, what if I told you someone else's life depends on your willingness to risk yours? What if I told you a free democracy could collapse if you aren't willing to show up every day and fight for it? What if I told you that your children, your grandchildren, will not inherit a planet, a country, a democracy, unless you fight like hell to ensure they do? What if I told you that without your actions, a childhood will become a privilege instead of a birthright? What if I told you if you don't give someone refuge in your home, they'll be kidnapped? What if I told you if you don't share your food with your neighbor, they'll go hungry? What if I told you if you don't do something, we will become a nation of forced birth? Well, family, that is exactly what I am telling you. The world is on fire, and it is going to take every single one of us doing everything we can to put this fascist, white nationalist fire out. Now look, y'all, history has shown us appeasement does not work. The only way to beat a dictator is with defiance. It is through defiance, and not just here today. It is through defiance in the way we move and show up every single day. Defiance is not just how you cast your ballot, y'all. Let me make it plain. This is not just about winning midterm elections. This is not just about surviving the next 3 years under the Trump administration. Hell, we're at risk of losing free and fair elections altogether. Defiance is not just about who you call in. It's not just about who you call out. It's about what you do. So when you leave here, ask yourself, what kind of tables are you bringing together? What kind of community are you organizing? Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Are you willing to make other people uncomfortable in the name of a better future? Well then, the fact of the matter is, you can't outsource freedom work. You can't seek asylum from the United States. This is our country, so fight for it. Defend it. Defend it with the defiance of your actions in word and deed. It matters where you shop. It matters where you bank. It matters where you dine. It matters what protests you organize, what meetings you attend, what leaders you vote for. This moment is not about how to endure the next 3 years. This moment will define the next 100. We know what's at stake. But here's the good news, y'all. Our ancestors have already laid out the blueprint for our survival and resistance. And when we do stop this, we will then march towards the work of reconstruction, a radical reimagining, because we know that another world, a better world, is possible. One where there's access to quality health care, it is a right and not a privilege. One where every child can actually be a child. Where all
autonomy to do what they want with their own bodies. We know a better world is possible, one where we choose peace over war, people over profits, one where black men get to grow old, and one where everyone shows up authentically, unapologetically, exactly as you are, without fear and without discrimination. Family, let me ask you a question. How much are your freedoms worth to you? If the answer is everything, then you must do everything. In the words of the great Assata Shakur, it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. Indeed, it is. All right, movement family. Let me hear you say that with me. I'll start. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Power to the people, no kings! No war! No ice!
Do you believe in this work? Do you believe in this resistance? Shout out to City Councilor Julia Mejia. Well, this ain't free. Go to nokings.boston to make a donation to continue to support this work of resistance. Do you believe in civil rights? Do you believe in marriage equality? Do you believe in freedom of speech? Then you believe in the ACLU? ACLU, ACLU, ACLU. Coming next to the stage is the Executive Director of the American Civil Liberties Union of Massachusetts. Give it up for Carol Rose.
All right, Massachusetts. All right, so first of all, Rasan Hall, the best MC we've ever had. Woo! And what about those Dropkick Murphys? What do we say to ICE? Ship them out of Boston. So I look out here, I am defiant. Because you know what? We at the ACLU, we know that what matters most. We see them in court, we're online, we're in the streets, we're on the common, because what matters is people power. So when I say people, you say power. People, power, people, power, people, power. You know, Massachusetts knows something about showing up and making a revolution against kings. We started it 250 years ago, and your Massachusetts started here in Massachusetts. We're the founding of the ACLU here in Massachusetts because we hate monarchs and we hate kings. So we say no kings, no kings, no kings, no kings. You know, people power matters more than anything else that we can do. Around the world, we've seen the only things that fights back against a dictator is people power. Because democracy is a muscle. The more we flex it, the stronger it gets. And let me say, right now, looking at it, all of you, this is a flex. That's right. But you have to keep showing up. So sign up at an action table before you go. It's really important that you do that. Help a neighbor. Keep showing up at rallies. Call your representatives and then call them again. That's what we do. Keep showing up. When I say people, you say power. People, power, people, power, people, power. No kings. Thank you.
Woo! Carol Rose in the ACLU, give it up. There's work to do. It doesn't stop here. There's May 1st, May Day. And after that is Memorial Day. And after that is Juneteenth. And after that is the 250th anniversary of this nation. And after that is Labor Day. And after that is election day. And every day after that is a day to organize. It is a day to mobilize. It is a day to resist. It is a day to get active. So you can start by going to the action tables. You can start by making a donation to NoKings.Boston. You can start by talking to your neighbors and friends. This is the work. This is the resistance that is rooted in love, that is rooted in uplifting one another. No thrones, no crowns, no kings, no thrones, no crowns, no kings. Now may the grace of this movement, the love of freedom, and the sweet communion of justice-loving people rest, rule, and abide with you and everyone here, hence now and forevermore. Amen. No kings. No kings. No kings.